Okay, before jump to the water supply engineering, we have this colored slide on all the three parts like water supply engineering, raw water engineering, then wastewater or sewage engineering, then third part pollution, which is air and noise pollution and solid waste management. Then we have first we will read population forecasting. In population forecasting, we will read amount of water supplied now and next 10 years. Means we will have a calculation. We have a formula that we will, for example, we are going to design any water supply scheme. So by this method or by this population forecasting, we can easily, for example, if any city has population of 10,000 now, after 10 years definitely it will be increasing or it will be increased. So how we will calculate? By using some formula, we will read and calculate by amount of water supply. Next, industrialization, because in every country, in every developed or developing country, industrialization is everywhere. So definitely we have need of water. We have a specific amount of water for the industrialization. Then we have to calculate mortality ratio of that specific area for which we are going to design the water supply scheme. Then definitely we, for all we have calculations. Next, we will read sources of water, because in every country, either is developing or developed, everywhere we have different sources of water. Most of the countries they use natural water or water from the like canals or water from the uh, oceans, but we have these sort of sources from where we can, because wells, tube wells, rivers and seas, these are the sources of water. But definitely sea, the water of sea water is hard to drink. So economical are viable for 24 hours or 365 days, means we have to see that, okay, what is the nearest source where we are uh, collecting the water. The next is characteristics of water. Then we will read physical, chemical and biological properties or characteristics of water. In physical, we will read color, taste, odor or smell, temperature, turbidity and conductivity. And in chemical properties, we will have pH or of hydrogen, hardness, alkalinity, TDS, concentration of metals, dissolved gases, and heavy metals. Because these from all the chemical properties are the most important ones, because most of the diseases are depend on the chemical properties. For example, permissible limit or ranges as per following the WHO or NEQS, and it means national. For example, if you are working in India, so you have to follow the WHO or your country, means India, water quality standards. In last, characteristics of water is biological or meteorological properties. This is the most important biological property, because if water contains pathogens, definitely we have disease. So biological properties are must to read and clear that what will the ranges of like BOD or COD. After that, we have a distribution and conveyance system, because first we finalize the population forecasting, then we finalize sources of water, then we checked or investigated characters of water. Finally, after all these, we have to supply the water to community. So supply to the communities, either pipe system or other mode of travel. Definitely, we will use pipe network, and then some countries they store the water, so they have like dams or reservoirs. So this is also one of the source that how we will supply through pipes and networks, and how it will be stored via reservoirs. After this first portion, we have second portion, which is wastewater engineering or sewage. Sewage contains 99% of water, but it has 0.1%, sorry, water, not solids or impurities. Waste produced from the kitchen, bathrooms, or any cleaning activity. This is definition of sewage, that the waste produced from the kitchens or bathrooms. Sewage system. In this part, we will learn design and criteria, because sewage system uh, contain two parts. One is sewage and other storm or rainwater. If rainwater we have, if abundant amount of rainfall, definitely we have a separate pipeline. But in the area where we are designing has a very less rainfall ratio, definitely we have to combine it with uh, other network of pipes. So we have different sort of pipe network, like combined sewerage system. Then after that we have same like drinking water. We have to check the characteristics of sewage, like color, pH, BOD, and COD. In biological, in wastewater biological properties, we have aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic, for means this is we are talking about the treatment of the sewage. Here we are talking about the treatment. So we have aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is conducted in the presence of oxygen, trickling filters, and anaerobic is in the absence of oxygen. So we have different sort of structures like septic tanks and sludge agitation tanks. Then from the aerobic, we have two sort of products. One is sludge, other is treated water. Treated water we can use as public use, and sludge we can dispose of through different methods like landfilling, pulverization, incineration, composting, and gasification. So this is all about the sewage or wastewater part number two. Then we have part number three, which is air and noise pollution and solid waste management or solid waste engineering. In air noise pollution, we have, in first we talk about air. We have atmosphere. We will read atmosphere, air pollution, pollutants, classification of pollutants, sources of air pollutants, effects of air pollutants, and how to reduce the air pollutants. We will also read effects on our body or on human suffocation. For example, if air pollution is very high, in very high concentration, so we have problems like suffocation, asthma, skin diseases, irritation of eyes, irritation, headache, corrosion of teeth, and finally, if it is long exposure, then cancer or carcinogenic. Then we have noise pollution. Noise pollution is different. For example, breathing, whispering, alarm. We will read in detail that breathing, whispering, alarm clock, crying baby, passing rain, disco music bar, construction vehicles, and planes. What will be the effects on human body? Will be mental stress, ear damage, increase the heartbeat rate, and blood pressure. It disturbs the sleep, difficult to concentrate, so accidents happen more easily. Noise is annoying, make us become bad tempered more often. Then last part in pollution, third part, we have solid waste management. In solid waste management, we have waste generation, waste collection, waste treatment, and then EIA. Maybe we have because sometime the course contain EIA. If the part definitely we will read about the EIA. So for waste treatment, we have different methods like landfilling, incineration, pyrolysis, composting, and gasification. We will get energy and we can use because these are called thermochemical technologies used for the for electricity, power, and fuel generation. So this is the detailed slide for all parts, like three parts. First part is water supply engineering. Second one is sewage water. Third one is pollution. Then we have history and need to study environment. That why we are studying this course. Up till 1960, the term ecology or environment drew little attention by politicians and social scientists. With the passage of time, due to human activities like industrialization, the concept of protecting the surrounding started to address. As on today, the environment has become an important issue by both political as well as social throughout the world. In fact, definition of relevance of the term environmental changes with the context perception and the conditions, and hence different people define environmental differently. Not a single organism on this earth is alone. We all are always surrounded by a lot of things such as other organisms, plants, water, air, light, etc. Such surrounding all the living and non-living things constitute the environment. Here we have a pictorial diagram of environment that the word environment derived from envan, which means things or thing that surrounds. It means all things that surround us is called environment. Example, all physical and biological surrounding like earth, air, water, men, trees, plants, animals, microorganisms, buildings, and roads, etc. Here we have physical and biological environment like earth and water. We have buildings. These are examples shown to make it simplify. We have attached the photos that buildings, physical structures, biological, like we have trees, we have plants, we have animals, and human. Environmental engineering, it is application of science and engineering principle to improve natural environment, air, water, and land, etc. To provide healthy water, healthy air, healthy land for human habitats as well as for the organisms, and to remediate polluted sites which mainly involve water sources management, air pollution control, safe and solid waste disposal and management, environmental sustainability, public health projects rather than drinking water like sanitation, sewerage water, as well as knowledge of environmental engineering laws, guidelines, standards such as US, WHO, and NSDW, EPA. It also includes the studies on the environmental impact of proposed construction projects like through EIA. Here we have basic terminologies used, that what is ecology. The scientific study of various relationship of living things to each other and with their environment is called ecology. Then population, it is an ecological term which shows the group of similar individuals, species like human, animals, birds, insects, microorganisms that live together in the same area at the same time. Then we have habitat, the type of environment in which a particular organism or population lives in its habitat. Type of habitats are aquatic and terrestrial habitat. And the last term is ecosystem. The interaction between a community and its physical environment is termed as an ecosystem or ecological system. An ecosystem is a structure and a function of community which shows the relationship between biotic and abiotic components, which are living and non-living components. Here we have branches of environmental engineering, that we have environmental chemistry, air pollution and its control, environmental hydrology, environmental impact assessment, solid and hazardous waste management, water and wastewater treatment, distribution and disposal, environmental microbiology, noise pollution and its control, environmental health and safety, environmental quality modeling and monitoring. Here I have highlighted yellow parts. Yellow parts means these are highlighted, so we will read during our courses. This is the introduction part. So we have intro, but we will read these four parts: air pollution or pollution, general, solid waste engineering or solid waste management, wastewater and water, and noise pollution and its control. The yellow parts we will read here in our course plan 1 and 2 in detail. Then we have elements of environment. One is physical and other is biological. Biological is plants or trees, animals, and physical are lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. Atmosphere, what is atmosphere? Uh, we have major components, minor components, and trace elements. Atmosphere contain, like for example, atmosphere we can call air. Okay, you know that air contains around 78 to 79% of nitrogen, and air contain around 20 or 19% of oxygen, then 0.9% of water vapors. Minor components include argon 0.9% and carbon dioxide, which is CO2 0.032%. Trace components, which are neon, helium, and methane, with a percentage of 0.0018, 0.0003%, and 0.002% respectively. Here we have introduction of lithosphere. The cover of rock considering the earth is called lithosphere. Soil and rocks are the important part of lithosphere. Then biosphere. This is the region of the earth where life exists. It exists extending from about 10 kilometers below the sea level, 6 kilometers above the sea level. Then we have atmosphere. So we will read in our next lecture. We will continue from this slide. Thanks for watching.